Good morning, my dear students. I welcome you to online English classes. Today we revise three poems from your portion, and that's from your book Beehive. First, road not taken, second, wind, and third, rain on the roof. Before we proceed to the class, I want to give you information about exam pattern. As you know, this time MCQ and subjective both pattern will come in your exam. MCQ you know very well. Subjective part, that means in which you write the answers. Suppose we take an example of English. In English, firstly, it will be divided in three parts. Section A, reading, Section B, writing, and Section C, literature. Section A, reading, that means unseen passage. You read the passage and write the answer. When you write the passage, answers, don't write the passage. That means no need to write the passage. Only you write question and answer of the passage. Now writing skill, this time you prepare story writing. That means I give one question and you write the story of above question. You know very well how to write story writing. Firstly, you read the question, then you put heading, then leave one line, then you write the introduction part of the story, then you write the beginning, and in last you end the story. All in sequence way. Your story end with conclusion. And most important thing, write in one para. Now comes to literature part. Question answers. You have to read the lesson very perfectly. Both the books, Beehive and Moment. Not only you learn question answers, you also read the chapters very well. And when you write the questions, subjective part, write in a good handwriting. That's the important. At least I understood your writing. Now comes to your revision. The road not taken. As you know, this poem is very relevant and related to our life. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. And be one traveller, long I stood and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. In this stanza, the poet is on the road of life. The speaker arrives at a point where he must decide which of two equally appealing choice is the better one. He examines one choice as best he can, but the future prevents him from seeing where it is lead. Now comes to second stanza. Then took the other just as fair, and having perhaps the better come, because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as for that the passing there had worn them really about the same. The speaker select the road that appear at the first glance to be less worn. That means the first road is less used and therefore less traveled. This selection suggests that he has an independent spirit and does not wish to follow the crowd. After a moment, he concludes that both roads are about equal warmth. And both that morning equally lay in leaves, no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. That means in the third stanza, leaves over both road equally. In both the roads, leaves are equally covered. No one on this morning has yet taken either road, for the leaves lie undistributed. The speaker remained committed to his decision to take the road, and he has previously selected, saying that he will save the other road for another day. He observes, however, that he probably will never pass this way again, and thus he will never have an opportunity to take the other road. In life, you got only one chance. That only poet want to say. I shall be telling this with a shy, somewhere ages and ages hence, two road diverged in a wood, and I took the one less travelled by, and that has made all the difference. Now, in the fourth stanza, in years to come, the speaker says he will be telling other about the choice he made. While doing, he will shy other with relief that he made the right choice, or with regret that he made the wrong choice. Whether right or wrong, the choice will have a significant impact on his life. He would tells that since he had taken the road less travelled, it made all the difference. Thus the poet speaks on the basic problems of making the right choice. Many alternatives are available at the time of choice, but man has to select only one. It is only the future that will reveal. You can regret them if we wish. We cannot start all over again. And this poem is written by Robert Frost. Now comes to the second poem, Wind, written by Subramania Bharti. In this poem, Wind, the poet has very beautifully expressed his idea about both the destructive and constructive aspect of the wind. The wind is often satirical of weak man. Wind symbolizes the difficulties that are faced in life. When we have the endurance to bear the difficulties of life, we can overcome each challenges. But we are weak and unstable to the difficulties of life, to face the difficulties of life. Wind comes softly, don't break the shutter of the wind, don't scatter the paper, don't throw down the books on the shelf. There, look what you did. You threw them all down. You tore the pages of the book. You brought rain again. Now, the poet is addressing wind. Wind has been personified here. The poet is asking wind not to do destruction to his thing. The poet asks wind to come softly and tells the wind to not break the shutter of the window. She also said the wind to not throw the books around as wind usually do. The wind did not listen to the poet. Wind did the destruction. It tore the pages of books. It brought the rain. It destroyed the weak houses. You tore the pages of the book. You brought rain again. You are very clever at pokifung, at wicklings. Frail crumbling houses, crumbling doors, crumbling rafters, crumbling wood, crumbling bodies, crumbling leaves, crumbling heart. Now here the wind god has crushed them all. It destroyed the weak houses, doors, heart, everything. Those who are weak, it will destroy by the wind. The poet therefore crushed the wind, all the destruction it did. She told the wind that it felt good by making fun of weak. The wind god winnows and crushes them all. He won't do what you tell him. So come, let's build strong homes. Let's join the doors firmly. Practice to firm the body. Make the heart steadfast. Do this and the wind will be friend with us. The wind blows out weak fires. He makes strong fires, roars and flourish. His friendship is good. He praise him every day. Now here the poet realizes that it is nature of wind to flow. No one can tell wind to do or what not to do. The poet realizes we need to be strong to face the wind. What we can do is to be build strong homes, join doors and windows firmly, make ourselves strong to make our heart strong. Written by Subramania Bharti. Now third one, rain on the roof. Written by Kotskini. Now it is the poem that tells us about the poet's sweet memories of his childhood. At night when dark clouds over covers the sky and it rains gently, then the poet lies in his cozy bed listening to the sound of the gentle rain droplet on the rooftop of his house. He remembered that his mother used to tell him stories which gave him immense and pleasure. When the humid shadow hover over all the starry spheres, and the melancholy darkness gently weep in rainy tears, what a bliss to press the willow of a cottage chamber bed and lie listening to the patter of the soft rain overhead. Now, here in the first stanza, the poet is describing a dark rainy night The humid shadows are appearing over the star. Here the clouds have the described as humid shadow. There is a sad darkness around us. The rain is describing an emotion as it looked like tears falling softly from your human eyes. The feeling of lying while pressing pillow and listening to sound of raindrops falling on rooftop. It assumes as explained by poet. Every tinkles on the jingles has an echo in the heart, and a thousand dreamy fancies into busy being start, and a thousand recollection weave their air thread into a woof as I listen to the patter of the rain upon the roof. Now, in the second stanza, every drop of water on the rooftop has an echo in the heart of poet, and a start thousand dreams start in heart. Thousand recollection of previous memories is coming in mind of poet. The memories are weaving like air threads in poet's mind when he is listening to the sound of rain water. Now in memory come my mother, as she used in years agone to regret the darling dreamer, ere she left them till the dawn. Oh, feel her fond look on me as I list to this refrain, which is played upon the singles by the patter of the rain. Now, in the third stanza, mother come in memories of the poet mind. He remembers how many years ago in his childhood his mother used to look down at him and his singles as they were sleeping and having pleasant dream. His mother would make a point to make at them every night, for she knew she would not see them again till the next morning. What the poet remembers more than anything is now the mother would bend down the watch over him in particular. These memories are revoked as they listen to the repetitive rhythm of the raindrop as they are falling on his room. And it is written by Court Skinny. In this way, we revised three poems from your Beehive book. Hope you all understood. Thank you.